Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 345.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
crazy ketos.
Hoping this works.
So the way we usually do our streaming, this service is down this morning, so we're trying a different way. So let us know if the audio works. Hopefully everything goes through. Make sure you can hear us and that it's loud enough. So otherwise, I can adjust some things here. But yeah, we're having to use OBS, which is not something that I normally use.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everyone. Sorry for the late start, but Rachel was babysitting yesterday. We're helping Michelle with the babies.
Yeah.
And I went to Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights with Anthony and John Paul. It's just... When they say, hey, can the three of us hang out? And unfortunately, Caleb couldn't go.
Well, and also Caleb is like, I don't think I can do the haunted houses.
It's like, I'm going to drop everything. Even if it's not my favorite thing to do, chance to hang out with my adult boys.
Don't miss it.
I'm going to do it. And I didn't get home until almost 3 o'clock in the morning. So we spent a little bit. I can hear you, but it's not as loud. Okay. So we can...
Marianne says it sounds good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. And hopefully that will help. Yeah, it's Mary that said it.
Were you scared?
No. I will say, listen, Halloween Horror Nights, again, I'm not way into that stuff. The houses are more about environment. It's such in the environment. It's not, to me, scary. I didn't get jump scared once. But I can see when they're going to jump out. But I will say, John convinced us at the last minute to everybody get...
Fast passes?
Fast passes. I'm going to say, if you're going to go to Halloween Horror Nights, get the fast pass. When we went through every single house, we were done by 11 o'clock. And the average on
amazing.
All of the houses, all of the good houses, there were 5 of them, had wait times of over 2 hours.
No.
And so, no. So we were in there. We got in there before they actually opened. Gates open at 6:30, but if you have an annual pass or you pay extra, you can stay ahead of time.
Okay, good jump start.
So we were in the first house by 5:15.
Aww.
And so we had a lot of fun, long night. But so welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. If you are new here, Keto Beyond the Couch is all about our subscribers. We do this every Monday, usually at 10 a.m. Eastern. We do it live whenever possible. And it's just our chance to celebrate our subscribers. Find things on our social media like our Mighty Networks group, which is members.twocrazyketos.com. It is completely free. And basically just highlight things, like people's success stories and also answer questions and comments that we found on our social media. So make sure you head over to our social media to answer your questions and comments and also leave your success stories. It could be something as simple as, for the first time in my life, I haven't had sugar in a week.
Yeah.
All the way up to, hey, I've lost 200 pounds.
I just want to say hi to Kevin. And Kevin... I'm so glad you're here today. Welcome back. Talk about something that's really a blessing for us, and really the thought of it just keeps us going, keeps us motivated to continue this channel. Is, he says, I fell off the wagon 3 years ago, but now I'm doing a restart. And I'm glad you guys are still around. You helped me a lot 3 years ago.
That's awesome.
Thank you. That is our prayer, is that even when somebody dips out for a little bit, when you come back, you're going to find us here, and that really is a blessing. So thanks for letting us speak into your life this morning,
Luann wants to know when we're going to Texas. We are leaving tomorrow morning.
Where?
I have to I have to pack and clean out the truck.
New Braunfels?
We're going to be in New Braunfels, Texas.
I was expecting sweater weather.
Yeah, it's going to be Florida weather.
But I think it's Florida weather.
Yeah. And so if everything goes as planned, we'll be there by Thursday.
Okay.
It's about 16 hours of driving, not including stops.
Yay.
But we're also towing an RV, and so, I'm figuring closer to 20 hours with stops and everything.
I'm bringing book of questions.
No, we're not.
For couples.
No. Okay, today's sponsor is Keto Brick.
Ooh, so excited.
Super excited about Keto Brick. I put a QR code up here on the screen, or there is a link down below. If you don't know what Keto Brick is, it is I guess you can call it a meal replacement bar. But it's 1,000-calorie bar. It is perfect keto macros, and you're basically looking at a lot of fat and protein. You don't have to eat the whole 1,000 calories in one sitting. You can do little pucks like we do, or you can just take a couple bites on it. It's great for backpacking or just working out or just days where like, hey, I don't really have time to eat. Like I took one with me to the park last night. And the thing is they have a brand new flavor. Came out yesterday. I did check this morning. There are still some available because
Wow.
I didn't order any.
That's amazing.
And I didn't order any. I actually have to call Robert later. I want to order some, but we're going to be gone when they would be delivered.
So they're going to get hot.
So I have to ask him if I order them.
Can you hold them?
Can he hold them for me, or can he just hold back some and then I'll order them when I get home?
We'll
I don't know.
see.
But it's glazed donut. If you saw, we put a video up about it yesterday. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it tastes a lot like a glazed donut. I think it tastes like a true macadamia nut cookie.
Batter.
White chocolate.
Yes.
Like the batter. Like,
yes.
like your mom made you white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, and you're sitting there eating the batter out of the bowl. That's what it tastes like.
I was going to say, it sounds like she made the batter, and then she said, when I'm done with this, you can lick the bowl, and then she decided to go do something else and never put the cookies in the oven, and you get the whole bowl.
I think it's a better flavor than Primal Fudge.
I do not. But I love the chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like chocolate frosting, that Primal Fudge. Like I'm sorry, but that's a tough act to beat.
So the way Keto Brick works is you can buy one bar or you can buy multiple bars. The more bars you buy, the better the price becomes. So
of course.
There's a link here on the screen
like
as well
anything.
as down below. And we want to say thank you to Keto Brick for supporting Two Crazy Ketos. Let's jump right into Keto Beyond the Couch. The first one we have is from Kelly.
Kelly P.
Said, get back up no matter what. You can take a break. You can be sad, depressed. You can feel defeated, but do not quit. Life is a funny way of turning full circle for those who refuse to give up. Get back up.
You know, that is such a great reminder. I love where she's like, you can feel this way, this way, this way. It does just boil down to feelings. There is nothing but like you being sad or being guilty or like, you know, you're frustrated, like all that is the only thing keeping you on the ground. If you tripped, if you just had like an actual tripping, like you tripped over your foot and you stumbled on the sidewalk and you fell down on the ground, you do not build a camp there. You don't tent there. You don't say like, hey, sorry, person's yard, I'm now homesteading this property. You just get up because it's dumb not to.
Right.
So it's the same thing when it comes to if you stumbled, you had a mistake, you did something you shouldn't, like, because you're sad about it is no excuse to get back up and do what you know is the right thing to do. Like, knock it off with like the just giving into emotions and saying, well, I'm just going to let it camp me here for 6 months.
Well, I mean, we have a 2-month-old grandbaby. As Parker is beginning to like crawl a little bit or scooch along, or when she begins to walk, when she falls, you're going to tell her, quit, never try it again?
Yeah, like just give up. Well, it's the same thing. It's funny because I see myself even in Peyton. So Peyton is a toddler. She's 2, about to turn 3. And she has very strong emotions about things that are not super important.
Right.
Right? Like, let's be honest. Like, if it's like, I want to watch another episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, but we've got to go to do something. I need you to put on your shoes and we have an activity to do. I know ultimately once we get to the activity, you're going to be fine. But like if she's like, well, I'm upset about this. I don't want to do this. I want to have a fit. You say like, now we don't act like that. Let's put on, you know that Oma wants good things for you. We've got something fun. Let's go.
Right.
And she, I'm telling you what, she will get a hold of herself faster than pre-keto Rachel would.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing to say, but true.
Next one we have is from, let's see, where is it? I gotta learn the system. From KL Ranch.
Hello.
Said, Joe and Rachel, thank you for the encouragement. And she put up her work in progress pictures.
Wow, you
the
look
old
incredible.
her, and then her work in progress. And I think she looks amazing.
You look absolutely amazing. And thank you for the honor of speaking into your life. That is what we pray every morning, is that somehow, some way we can be a blessing to someone, that we can encourage somebody that's maybe having a hard day, that we can sometimes kick in the tush somebody that needs it, because Lord knows we do from time to time, and that somebody is waking up knowing that they are loved. I think that's like very important too, that people just know that, no kidding, there is somebody that loves them, and we truly do love you.
I did see, what is it? Amelia has a question of best place to buy pastured chickens I can't find local. You can try a place like Whole Foods, but I think mostly what you're going to find there is organic. The best thing is looking for local farms.
Have you tried your Facebook?
Yeah, I
place?
would go into like Facebook Marketplace kind of thing,
Like surrounding
or Facebook
cities
groups,
and
stuff like that.
chickens.
But see, the problem is you have different laws in different states. You can't ship stuff across state lines, so you've kind of got to find kind of local. And then the other thing you have to remember is, depending on the state, every state is different. There are laws with even farm pastured chicken in the way they process them and clean them. Some states require you to be disinfecting them with bleach, and which is what you see in stores. So the best thing to do is to really get into like local farming groups, and farmers markets is another really good place.
I have utilized Whole Foods to do some of my work for me. Sometimes they spotlight local, like if they want to have a local section. And so I will go to like, where is that farm and like how local is it? And if it's something where I need to do a day trip to get there, maybe it's 2 or 3 hours away, I'll just say, okay, well, I'm going to do a bulk meat order from that place, you know?
Gloria, thanks for the
Gloria.
$10 super chat and said age 71 non-scale victory this weekend. My optometrist said vague sign of cataract has not gotten worse. Keep up what you're doing. I love hearing that. Enjoy a cup.
Thank you so much. And like, that is what a blessing that is. You know, when you are spared from a surgery like that, like I've gone through cataract surgery with my mom. My father had to have eye surgery. And when you can put into remission or put at bay or like stop where we're at with that type of surgery, what a blessing that is. I will eat steak all day long to have that result. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's worth it.
Next one we have is from Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
I had to stop and remind myself how far I've come and not just dwell on how far I'd like to go. Yes. I'm down 220 pounds between these pictures. So much healthier.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the difference.
Stacy, you have had such an incredible journey, and I am so proud of you, and I love you talking to you like this. Yeah. Because I think that, you know, Stacy and I have a very similar like attitude toward ourselves sometimes, where I get fixated on what still needs to be done or like what I need to do next. And I completely sometimes abandon the celebration of what has already been accomplished and held to this point. So I'm so glad to hear you bragging on you.
Next one's from Deborah.
Hey, Deborah.
Each day is a new opportunity to start over. If time is the measure, each hour, each minute, and each second is the same opportunity. Whether it be starting over with attitude, habits, relationships, or food choices, we have the power to create our successes.
Today is the present. It is a present. What are you going to do with that present? That's a very powerful thought.
Next one is from Melinda.
Hey, Melinda, I have a predicament with my hubby. He's supposed to be doing keto with me due to him being just right on the edge of diabetic. Well, he has informed me he doesn't want pork, ground meat, roast, or any chicken. He has basically made it impossible to feed him. He also hates all my keto recipes that I love to make. He won't eat anything that doesn't resemble standard American diet food. I'm to the point of just letting him starve at home because I refuse to feed him crap. He goes and gets crap food while he's at work. I know there isn't any real advice. I'm just venting, and I'm glad you're here to do that, Melinda, because I totally understand that sometimes you need to vent that frustration because you're like, dude, I love you, and I am showing my love to you by trying to facilitate what the doctor has said you need to focus on, and maybe after a doctor's appointment, you told me you knew you needed to focus on. Right. But like, if you are going to fight me at every like turn, I need to hear more about like, how can we make this work? Not more questions of like, how are you, like, this can't work. Right. Right? Like, that's really, really hard.
So my question, Melinda, is he doesn't want to eat pork, ground meat, roast, or chicken.
So it's like seafood?
What does he eat?
Right. Lunch meat?
And I'm not talking about what does he eat on keto. Like, on his current diet, what is he eating?
Right.
Okay.
Is it just like French fries?
Because he doesn't want ground meat. Does he eat burgers?
Right.
I mean, what is he eating when he goes to work? What junk food does he want? Will he eat steaks? Steak's not a roast. If he'll eat steaks, just give him a steak every day. I mean, can it be expensive? Yeah. How much is your husband's health worth?
Well, my thing is, how much is the money of him like going to buy the other food?
Right.
So he's still spending, like, you're spending the money on dinner and he's going out and buying other food. So there's a double bill right there. So
Right.
you know what I mean? Like that's challenging.
Well, and the reason I'm asking is it just sounds like he's just gonna, he doesn't want to do this, so he's gonna find every reason.
He's having
It's
a
like,
toddler fit.
yeah, it's like when there's something I don't want to do, when Rachel
like
says,
this.
"Can you do this?" I can find a million reasons of why we can't do that. And usually she has an answer for every one of those reasons to the point where I end up doing it anyway. But that's kind of what it sounds like. It's like, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to give you all the reasons why I can't, because I don't want to eat any of that. So I would take anything, I would take anything that he didn't put on that list, like a salad, and put that in front of him.
Yeah, because there you go. Like, if if you want to start out and do like, hey, we're going to do lunch meat salads.
Right.
Or I'm going to do like, where you have like the egg and bacon, or what is that? Chef salad.
Right.
That sort of thing. Like, be like, okay, fine. We'll have this. Or if he can do like charcuterie or something, and just, if he just wants kind of like where it looks like a snack plate, like a adult Lunchable is the only thing that he's going to be satisfied with.
Right.
Oh, there you go. I think that it's true. He doesn't want to eat this way.
Yeah.
And so that's Melinda.
And we're not trying to be nasty. I'm trying to help you come along with it. It's like trying to come up with an argument for it. Okay, so if you don't want to eat that, what do you want to eat? And then find a way to fit that within even a lower carb diet.
I just want to say to you what I said to my daughter Michelle last night. We were laying in bed. It was like 12:30, and Parker decided, I think it's morning time and we need to like cry, right? And I just told her, you are doing such a great job. Like, this baby doesn't know how much of your heart you're putting into this, how you're being consistent, but like, this is love right here. People will say like, it's Christmas morning and you're opening packages and that's what love looks like. No, love looks like rocking the baby despite it having a fit at 12:30 in the morning when you are like dog tired.
Right.
And Melinda, this is what love looks like. And I just want to commend you that I see you loving your husband. And he may be acting the fool, but this is love. And I'm really proud of you for putting all this out, all of this effort out, because you do love him and you're trying to help him.
Yeah. Next one is from your mom.
Oh, my mom.
I've started doing something for myself that Rachel suggested.
Okay.
I'm trying to get in more electrolytes, and sometimes I don't want to take the time to make just one drink. So now I make a pitcher full, putting it in the refrigerator, and then when I want something cold to drink, instead of reaching for a diet soda because it's there and cold, I fill my glass with something that's going to benefit me throughout the day. Just my 2 cents. Have a good day, friends.
I am so proud of my mom. This may not be a big deal to some people, but this is a really big deal. And again, my mom has been keto for a really long time now, almost as long as we have. And the struggle, I can remember, like, she would make pictures and pictures of like Crystal Light. And she's like me, we like drinks really cold. Look at this little bit of drink I have left, and it's mostly ice. Like, we love cold drinks. And so it's hard for her to go and make, an electrolyte in the moment. So she would always make big pictures of Crystal Light. When we grew up, there was always a pitcher of tea in the refrigerator. And so she's like, I still have the pitchers. I can just make a big batch of electrolytes and just keep it in there. And I'm just so proud of her for doing that, because really, like, the Crystal Light does nothing for you.
Yes.
It's just belly wash. Diet soda doesn't do anything for her. It's just belly wash.
Yep. Now, the one thing I am going to say, not to put a damper on for people, but be careful with that.
Yeah, sure.
Because you can overdo the electrolytes. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, what I would suggest if you're drinking a lot, like I drink a lot, okay, is like do an electrolyte and a water, an electrolyte and a water, an electrolyte and a water. Because you can end up, as silly as it sounds, with low blood pressure from consuming too many electrolytes. Also, you could end up with some bathroom pyrotechnics. And I've learned that. Like, it's if you consume a whole bunch of electrolytes, your body will flush out excess electrolytes.
Right.
But the number one place that it flushes them out is by giving you diarrhea. So it's just something to be aware of. Like, it's overdoing electrolytes isn't too much of a concern if you're doing powdered electrolytes in water, because your body will flush them out. But if you're doing like capsules or something like that, or just salting your food and you're not consuming a lot of water, you could end up in a situation where you've got a lot of electrolytes and your body doesn't have a way to flush them out.
That's a good point. Marie, thank you so much for commenting on my flamingo shirt. And I'm so glad you're excited about making the garlic balls. I'm interested to see like who made them this past week, because they are freaking delicious.
Next one is from Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Can I make, would be the Keto Chow pumpkin sausage soup without Keto Chow. The only flavors I have is strawberry, blueberry, and vanilla.
You probably use the vanilla, maybe.
I would say,
if you're looking for consistency or something.
I don't know about making it without Keto Chow. Could you use it with another protein powder? Possibly. What makes it interesting is the fact that you have the pumpkin Keto Chow, but if you have vanilla Keto Chow, you could use vanilla Keto Chow and then add in some pumpkin spice.
Yes, that would work great.
Like put in a pumpkin pie kind of spice, something like that. But if you put in the different spices that you would put in pumpkin pie, you're going to get pretty much that same flavor if you're using vanilla Keto Chow.
Speaking of a pumpkin sausage soup, like there are friends, and then there are friends that make you pumpkin sausage soup. So I see Sarah G is here this morning. Love her so much.
Rachel didn't share it.
I think I gave you a spoonful.
A few.
But it was freaking delicious. So we were talking about it, and so she had made a big batch, and she made extra and brought it over to share. And that is like, it was so funny and I washed the bottom of her Tupperware, not the top. Why? Because when I went to go approach the pumpkin sausage soup, I must have been like, there's no going back from this plate. I took the lid off and I must have frisbeed it somewhere to just begin consuming the pumpkin sausage soup. And so I still have to wash the lid. I washed the bottom.
Next one is from Sally.
Hey, Sally.
What do you all use for sunscreen?
Well, we make our own, but mostly we don't use any.
So for the most part, I know we're going to get a bunch of kickbacks for this, but we don't wear sunscreen.
We use a hat.
Two things, this is a controversial topic, but two things that can actually be harmful for your health is wearing sunscreen. And remember, we're not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. This is based on studies that we have researched, talking to people who are out there, and also researching the products themselves. But sunscreen, and also, this is a big one that people don't like hearing, sunglasses.
Yeah.
So, like, really good eye doctors, like ophthalmologists, like if you go talk to Dr. Lisa Wiederman, will tell you that sunglasses are really bad for you, that you should not be wearing sunglasses outside.
She is a doctor.
And she is an eye specialist.
Right.
Why don't we wear sunscreen? Because I want to get as much as possible. Now, that doesn't mean be stupid.
Right.
That doesn't mean go out and just bake in the sun and get super red. Now, the more you expose your skin to the sun, the better it can. Rachel used to turn like a lobster within 10 minutes, and now she never wears sunscreen and doesn't get burnt.
I really don't.
Except for in weird places that don't get exposed to the sun, like
back
when she goes to the pool, behind her knees. I don't know how she does it, but she does it.
I didn't even show the back of my knees.
So the big problem is there are many ingredients in commercial sunscreens that have known carcinogens in them.
Yes, so it's like that you'll use it and then you'll get this burn. But I'm telling you, getting a slight burn with no sunscreen is different than getting a burn with sunscreen. It literally feels like a chemical burn.
Yeah. When
you get it with sunscreen.
So we don't really wear sunscreen. And Rachel is pretty much like in her underwear on the farm all day. She wears a bikini just to get more exposure to the sun for vitamin D and stuff. But there's a lot of carcinogenic chemicals in sunscreen, and some of the active ingredients that are in sunscreen actually are known to have detriment to your hormones. So,
I don't
my
need any
advice
help.
is if you want to wear sunscreen, make your own. I linked down below a recipe for how we make our own. So when
Super
we do,
easy.
if we know we're gonna be outside for a long time, we'll wear that. And it's very, very easy to make, and it's very inexpensive. The other thing is like I personally think the whole sunscreen thing is a scam. It's like now you're all the way up to SPF 100 and higher.
What are you gonna do?
And-
What's
and
next?
Really, you don't need anything over 30. Like if you're gonna wear sunscreen, you don't need anything over 30. It's like I think 30 blocks like 97%, and then 50 blocks 98%.
They're playing.
It's like the law of diminishing returns, but they're charging you 10 times more
Well,
money.
they're playing on parents.
Yeah.
Being like, I love my kid, but I don't just love my kid 30 SPF. I love you 150 SPF. Like you feel.
It also gives people a false sense of security. So
Sure.
studies have shown that people who wear anything over SPF 50
don't reapply anyway.
they don't reapply as much because they think they're protected.
Yeah.
And so they end up getting more burnt because they think whatever.
One of my pet peeves, and I don't have a lot of them. My biggest pet peeve ever is when you're on the buffet and you start eating while holding your plate still in the buffet. Like, dude, it's a buffet. Sit down. No one's taking your plate from you. But it's like gross that you're like eating while you're at the buffet. My other one is when someone is like right next to you and they're using like the spray suntan lotion, and it's like you're totally getting it. Like when you get into a spray, like we've had this happen a lot at like theme parks where I can't get away from you, but you've decided in line to soak your entire family, and now I'm like breathing it. It's not even that I'm
Right.
wearing it. It's like I'm eating it.
Here's my thing. The number one way to get vitamin D and have your body utilize it is by being in the sun. If that is the case, okay, why would God make the sun poison if it's the number one way that your body is designed to get vitamin? It's like something doesn't jive there.
All I know is since I've allowed myself to be out in the sun more, it has really done a number in a good direction for the way I feel, my peace, mindset. Like there is something to, and I was somebody that really struggled when I lived in Virginia and in Washington, D.C. with seasonal depression.
Right.
So like there's something to it.
Right.
Right?
And again, you can do what you want, but we were asked, what do? We either don't wear it or we wear our own.
Yeah, see, Marianne says, I haven't used sunscreen in years, even a whole day in the Disney parks, and like that is, if you know, you know, when it comes to like being out in full sun.
Right.
Doesn't burn me anymore, even in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one is from Carrie.
Hey, Carrie P.
So I can't argue with this one. We are the only species that sprays food with poison so that other animals won't eat it, and then we eat it.
Ooh, that just hit me in all the feels.
Now, I mean, yes, okay, so we're the only species that could do that.
Sure.
But let's think about that for a minute. And here's the thing. I'm going to take that a step further.
Right.
So we're the only species that, and you're talking about pesticides and things like that. So we spray our plants with pesticides. Then we have Roundup and different chemicals so that the bugs don't eat them. But then they've become resistant to them. And then we come up with these GMO foods. We're also one of the few countries that actually does that. Many of the pesticides and herbicides that are used here in the United States are illegal in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why you can literally eat bread here in the United States and have it jack up your whole system.
And then you go to Italy.
And then you can go to Italy and it doesn't even impact
Phase
your
ya.
glucose.
Yeah.
Because all of the stuff that we're using here is illegal in almost every other country.
So with that in mind, so here you go. I'm not going to stay on a hamster wheel and just be like, I'm going to continue eating these inflammatory things and staying sick, and this sucks. And I'm also not moving to Italy.
Right.
So what can I reasonably do? Well, I can take a little bit of control about the ingredients that I have, right? And then if I want to go to Italy or I want to go someplace where there's not inflammatory foods and you want to have a piece of bread there, okay, There's no keto police or anything like that, right? But for my majority of life that is spent here, I have to pivot. I refuse to just live upset and live sick. And I just have to cut out some things that are going to be detrimental, right?
Yeah. Let's take a quick fade to black.
Jazz hands on a Monday.
Next one we have is from Rita.
Hey, Rita.
I had a small debate with my daughter yesterday about fasting and feeling hungry. I mentioned to her that I was 45 hours into a 48-hour goal and that I was feeling hungry. She voiced concern that I should eat. I explained that hunger would pass and I wasn't feeling off at all. That if I started feeling ill or off, I would eat.
Sure.
She is very non-keto and anti-fasting and considers both an eating disorder.
Wow.
I did break the fast early only because I didn't want to be eating too close to my bedtime, which I think is a very good thing.
That's smart.
And that leads us to the topic kind of that we put on today's Keto Beyond the Couch, which is fasting an eating disorder?
It's a good question.
And so a lot of people aren't going to like to hear this. It could be. It could absolutely be an eating disorder if you abuse it, if you use it in certain ways. Is fasting not an eating disorder? Not necessarily. And it really shouldn't be.
It's a part of life. It would have
again,
been naturally.
And you're not going to change your daughter's mind. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can give her all the evidence you want. You're probably not going to change her mind unless she just kind of watches things that happen and sees you get healthy and all that.
Well, sometimes maintaining that attitude makes it so that she does not have to do that thing.
Right. But if you look at both keto and fasting is ancestral way of eating.
Sure.
Okay, and again, we're going to go back to Little House on the Prairie, pre-industrial revolution. American Indians. They fasted constantly.
You're plowing a field, you can't live in the pantry
right.
or the
well,
refrigerator.
Even there, you found food, you ate. How much do you eat? Until you couldn't eat another bite. Then they would dry a little bit and they would move on. When is the next time they ate? When they found another animal to kill.
Sure.
It could be days. Could be weeks. You didn't know. Fasting itself is part of ancestral eating. Keto is part of ancestral eating. Your body is designed to produce ketones. Carbohydrates are not essential. There is no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. Your body does not need carbohydrates to function. It does need fat and it does need protein, but it does not need carbohydrates at all to function. Now, how can fasting be an eating disorder? If you're abusing it. If you are fasting because well, I'm up 5 pounds, so I'm going to do a 48-hour fast.
Yeah.
If you slipped up and said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to punish myself by doing a 36-hour fast.
Yeah, because I can see that people would say, you always have to check your motivation. Take a moment and say, what am I going to do today and why am I going to do it? Sometimes we just tell ourselves what we're going to do, but we're not having a conversation of why are we doing that thing. So the word discipline is something that sometimes, we esteem. If someone is disciplined, then they will, they work out and they're watching what they eat. Like, discipline sounds good. Discipline can also mean punishment, right? Like, we discipline a child. So my question is, why are you fasting? Is it because it's part of your discipline? Like, maybe quarterly you decide I'm going to do 48 or 72 hour fast like once every, 3 months.
Like as a reset.
But it's already on the schedule. It's not that your actions now change the schedule and now it's on the schedule because I'm upset. One thing I think you could look at yourself is say, as soon as I'm done with this fast, what do? Do I race to the scale to see, okay, what did that do? Because if you're racing to the scale, that is a useless thing anyway. Because the moment you eat, that number is going to change.
Yeah, and I'll
right?
take it even a step further. If how do you know that fasting is becoming an eating disorder for you? If you weigh before you start the fast and then you're weighing continually during the fast and then after the fast you weigh again, fasting is probably an eating disorder for you.
Yeah.
If you are fasting to get to a certain weight and then you're going to eat and then the scale goes up and then you go, okay, now I have to fast again until the scale gets back down to that weight number again, then fasting is an eating disorder for you.
Right.
So in general, fasting is not an eating disorder in any way, but it could be. But so could anything that you do when it comes to food.
So again, the answer is going to be in the motivation.
Yes.
And this is, have that conversation with yourself where you're not talking to me, you're not talking to Joe, you're not talking about to somebody in the keto community, you're not even talking about to your coach. You're talking to yourself, stripped down of all of the BS that we give everybody because I want to continue doing what I want to do, right? We gotta get real and say, okay, this is my motivation. I am mad at me. And so I am going to withhold food because I like food and you don't get what you like right now. Or I'm going to say, you know what? I know that this is something that I need to incorporate as a discipline, and hunger is something that I want to interact with. It used to be something that I was afraid of. It's like the first like cry of a baby. You're like, oh my gosh, I never want that baby to cry. Well, babies cry and people get hungry. And it's okay that you're hungry sometimes. If you are so afraid of hunger that every single time you answer hunger with like any minor inconvenience or like feeling of hunger, you're like, I got to answer that with food. Well, that's probably a cycle to break.
Yeah. Next one we have is from Faded Star.
Hello, Faded Star.
This is what we were talking about last week with the person who made a comment that carnivore is 0 carb.
Right.
Okay. Oysters are carnivore. And they are nutritious, and they have carbs.
Sure.
A dozen oysters on the half shell could be 10 carbs, and I'm going to continue to enjoy my oysters.
You know,
which was my whole point.
The blessing is you get to do keto your way, and that this is a place like this. This is a channel, and this is a community where we celebrate people doing things their own way. And one of the things that we do our own way is I name and title and hashtag my recipes whatever the heck I want.
Right.
You know? And so I used to be very timid about that. I feel like, 8 years, 7 years, I think it's time for you to go ahead and stand up. Like, I don't need to explain myself all the time.
Right.
But, there's always going to be somebody.
I told Rachel, we're going to start, if you want to leave a nasty comment, like, one that was on the garlic poppers video that said garlic is not carnivore. This is not a carnivore recipe. We're gonna shout them out.
But
we're gonna highlight.
But everybody's
them being
name
a
is
jerk.
just Karen.
Right.
No matter who it is, it's just Karen.
I mean, because it can get so insane. And I know Jonathan Shane put up a post the other day about like what happened to the keto space.
So I actually had messaged him behind, like, do we have a second? Like,
couple minutes.
I had actually messaged him because I felt it. He had gone into Costco and he had saw Zip Fizz. And if you guys are OG, you remember that like Zip Fizz was like the kind of before we knew nothing about.
There was
Redmond Relight.
There really was nothing.
Right.
I don't even think Redmond Relight was out. Like when we got started, I don't even think you had Redmond Relight. There was no Salty. There was no Element. We actually have a very old video. You had Keto Chow electrolyte drops.
Yes.
There was the Dr. Berg electrolyte powder.
Ultima.
And then there was Ultima, and then there was Gatorades and stuff.
Yeah.
But you didn't have the options now. So we all used Zip Fizz because it had like 900 milligrams of potassium in it.
So what he was saying was when he saw that...
But then I screwed with the ingredients.
It took him back as soon as he saw the Zip Fizz. It's like he didn't buy it, but like it took him back to a moment where like all of a sudden he was like, I'm in 2017, 2018. It's like where keto community was there before the pandemic. And he's like, man, it was like a different world. People were just getting rid of pasta and grains and, rice and stuff. And they were losing a ton of weight. Like there wasn't a lot of keto treats. It was almost effortless that people were just making a change. It was a simple change. They were having some results. Maybe they weren't like 0 to, losing 24 sizes in an instant, but it was okay because everybody was just enjoying the journey. You were looking forward to conferences and getting together with people, and it was all about community. And he was like, it feels different. Like, what has happened? Like, what's happened? So I like messaged him privately, and I'm like, I have some theories about this. And I think that what happened was denominations formed. Like it became a church and like denominations formed. And there were people who were like very intent about chasing ketones. There were people that were very intent about like focusing only on protein. There were people that were like very intent about like just, going carnivore.
Well, because back then, like when we got started, the only division you had in the keto space was, are you total carb or net carb?
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it. So when all of these denominations kind of sprung up, just a regular normal person, like, the Joe and Rachel that would be entering this space new, you came into the club and you're ready to like, start dancing, and you realize that it is not okay to have a different opinion than whatever Facebook group you wandered into, or like, you started talking with people like maybe in a chat, or like you were commenting on a YouTube, and it was like your question was wrong, your thought was wrong, and you became really scared to be wrong. And if you had made friends, you started worrying that they were going to ghost you now because you weren't changing alongside of them. Yep. And I think that honestly, I mean, this is me being really vulnerable right now. I think that what happened is because of that, people, when the GLP-1s came out, I know they're amazing, right? But when they came out, it became a real answer of like, you know what? I would like to go just find something that works and actually withdraw from the community because it's scary out there. Yeah. And here is a pharmaceutical that is promising some results, and I don't have to be wrong. I can do things in the privacy of my home now. And it was like a withdrawing, and it was like all of a sudden, like pharmaceuticals became video that killed the radio star.
So I was gonna say, at the risk of upsetting people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now again, I think GLP-1s
awesome, amazing,
are a miracle drug when used as intended.
Absolutely.
Do they have some benefits? Yes. Can they help you with hormones? But what I feared is happening. Just talk about a GLP-1 around your phone and then open up Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay? Just talk about it. And you will have 50 different companies that are willing to ship it to you without ever seeing a doctor. You answer like 5 medical questions and you're done. And so I think that they could be beneficial along with, in conjunction with, changing your eating lifestyle. But what I'm seeing is more people going, but I don't want to change my eating lifestyle. I just want something that's going to make me not want to eat, which is a problem, and is going to control my blood sugar.
Sure.
And so you have a lot of people who are eating a dumpster and then using a GLP-1, but they're not working on their overall health. And now the problem is when they go off it, they're going to have other problems. And then again, we don't know long-term side effects. So I think if you're going to use them, you have to use them within a ketogenic or carnivore lifestyle.
But then does the community continue to make it inhospitable to ask questions?
No, they are. It's like, I see people like, I'm afraid to say I use a GLP-1, and I know a lot of people use them, and I don't think there's anything wrong. I'm with you, so long as you're working on your overall lifestyle.
Right.
Now, I will absolutely say, if you want to continue to eat Oreo cookies and Breyers ice cream and all of the junk food in the store and go to McDonald's for 3 meals a day,
I know you can do better.
Do GLP-1s, no, I don't support your decision. I think it's a silly decision.
Yeah.
But if you're like, okay, I know that sugar is an enemy. I commented on a post I saw on Facebook the other day about a state like working on reducing insulin or giving everybody free insulin, and I'm like, why can't we work on talking about the fact that type 2 diabetes is reversible with diet? We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to figure out how to give people more drugs.
Yeah.
And that's my problem.
Well, like Trisha's saying, I want to be fit, but I don't want to get fit.
Right.
And again, when the communication breaks down because everybody has their own little camp, it's and you're like, hey, I want to try this. Like the backlash from it makes it like, you know what? Screw this.
Right.
Like I'm just going to withdraw, and I would rather. And that's how we used to diet before.
Right.
Right. We used to diet in isolation or with people that we had, strangers. And we're weighing in with Jenny Craig or or when we were with Weight Watchers. And it's like, I didn't really know those people that like we were together because of, it was the closest place, that you would weigh in. And there was no real relationship there. And so I asked Jonathan, I was like, well, I'm not satisfied with this. Like, this is my hypothesis, but like, if it's true, like, what do we do? And he's like, I think we have to start talking. We need to do joint effort stuff. Like we need to start talking about things. And I know that if we have more of an approach where we're like, hey, we're going to get back to basics again. We're dial it down. That there's going to be people that are like, I've leveled up though. Like maybe I started keto and now I'm carnivore. Or like I started keto and like I have all of these other things that I've added to like hack my health and now like I'm on a different level. I don't want to bring down and get information about level 1 again.
Right.
But my prayer is that even if we're interested in saying, there's going to be new people enter the space and we want to meet them there. We don't want them to be like, well, I'm sorry, if you don't know, there's no time for you. But I think that there are more people that are like me, that are like Jonathan, and they're like, we're nostalgic. Right. For that time when it was easier. Let's go back to when it was easier.
The problem is it's just become everybody, if you're not eating
certain
my
thing,
way,
XYZ,
you're the enemy.
Right.
Like, I mean, I cannot tell you how many people we have who have emailed us and said, I've unsubscribed, stop watching, stop coming on Mighty Networks because you're not strict enough. And that's, I mean, and you can see that in our views, you can see it in our channel growth. It's, the thing now is carnivore. I don't think it's going to be forever because I don't think carnivore for most people is sustainable. I think that maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 people will sustain it long term.
Well, you're already seeing,
and
you're already
there is no
that.
proof that long term.
Well, and
it's good because there's never been a human civilization that's 100% carnivore.
Well, what grieves my heart is you're starting to see a lot more like carnivore, channels and stuff where the person's like, yeah, I eat 98% meat, and I'm incorporating this. And I mean, it could be literally anything, like one other ingredient. And it's just like their own group of people who I think that they see as friends that they have helped to encourage with the videos on their channels are like literally like, shh, boom, like, no, you suck now, I hate you. And you're like, that cannot be. And I hope that people, even if they're like, hey, I label myself a carnivore, but really I do 2 more ingredients or something like that, or I'm going through a season where I'm trying something new to figure something out, I really pray that they will see everybody isn't like that. The 2% of like super negative people, they were never your friends anyway. Right. So like stop putting a lot of stock in, in that.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll move on from this. Here's my thing. I've gotten to the point now where I to me it doesn't matter how somebody eats if they're eating something on the spectrum of the proper human diet, but it's gotten to the point now where I do look at people and go, listen, unless you are going by the true definition of carnivore, which is you're only eating meat products or products from animals. So that includes meat, that includes cheese, that includes dairy because that is from an animal, okay? But if you're using anything other than salt, you are by definition not a carnivore. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But I'm saying get off your high horse.
It's okay.
Get off your high horse, okay? Because unless you're only eating products from an animal and salt, which means no pepper, no garlic, no nothing, then you are not, by the actual definition of the word, a carnivore.
Yeah.
And that is okay. But don't beat up somebody because they want garlic, or they want an occasional piece of allulose, or they, oh my gosh, have a piece of asparagus.
Well, and don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
I love you. I don't want you to be like, I can't change my mind. That is silly. Of course you can change your mind. Of course there is a U-turn available on roads. And you can take that when you need it, or maybe you just need to go down a different path for a little bit. What really is like speaking to me and why I feel like we need to share this is Kevin. So Kevin is walking back in here and is like, hey, I've been gone for 3 years. What did I miss? I want him to come back into a room where he is loved and embraced, and we are so tickled that you're here. Yeah. Not like, well, you're going to need a Rosetta like program so you could speak the new language because we've made it so freaking complicated that like you're gonna need a translator.
Next one is from Esther.
Hey Esther.
I always like your recipes because they are easy. I'm ready for more recipes. We've got more coming. We're working on them, and that is our whole thing. And it's like we can make I have lots of complicated recipes.
Sure.
We don't make videos because nobody's going to make them. No. Well, and it's not even nobody's. I don't want to make them.
Yeah. If you
I don't have time to spend 4 hours in the kitchen preparing.
No.
I want something that I can spend 5 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, in actual making everything together, and then stick it in the oven and let the oven or the smoker or everything do the. So for us, everything is about easy. We could do more complicated ones, but that's not how we eat, and we have to be genuine to who we are.
Well, and I am okay for somebody else, like another channel, to have the star of the Thanksgiving dinner or the star of Christmas. And I would just like to help facilitate every other meal that needs to be quick and easy because you've got family that's with you for 2 solid weeks. And I don't want you to pull your hair out. I want you to have tasty things that everybody can enjoy. That's my heart.
Yeah, when somebody comes out with a recipe like, this is a keto pasta and it takes 3 hours to prepare it to get 1 bowl of pasta, I'm like, no pasta's worth that.
I can't do it.
Not for me anyway. For some people, I'm sure it is. But for me, I'm like, no, by the time I've made it, I'm over the fact that I want pasta.
And I celebrate that person. Like, that is cool that they made this recipe that's like super elaborate. It's just like, I'm going to, that's for the star of the show. But again, there's the 2 weeks around because I'm that mother that's like, dear Jesus, am I going to live through the holidays?
Next one is from Joy.
Hey, Joy.
Is there a discount for Equip Prime Protein Powder? Yes.
There is.
2 Crazy Ketos and a link down below. I think it gets you 15% off.
I like where it said, always be kind says, if I have to use a blender, I won't make it.
Next one's from Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
What brand of collagen is everybody using? Why? I bought 1 can of Perfect Keto and it's so expensive. It's my first time adding collagen. Also, to use any protein powder to add to coffee. I need to up my protein, but I cannot eat anymore. I would use either Equip or Keto Chow for your protein powder. And for collagen, honestly, the one I'm going to recommend is Vital Proteins. You can buy it in Walmart. Yeah. You can buy it on Amazon. Easy. You can buy it in health food stores, and it's very clean, and I think it's a good collagen. Let's see. Next one is from Carnivore Jerry.
Well, hello, Carnivore Jerry.
In your opinion, if you were to an annual blood work panel to the appeasement of your standard American doctor, would you eat a keto brick a day for 3 days prior to a fasting test as using Dave Feldman's protocol?
Not a bad idea.
We are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals, but I am going to tell you that could work.
It could work.
It could work.
We've seen people do that for insurance purposes.
Yeah, that could help. I will tell you one of the worst things you can do is do an extended fast before your blood work. Your triglycerides will go through the roof. So don't do a 24-hour fast before doing blood work, especially for a cholesterol.
I mean, sometimes they will require you
not that long, though.
But not that long.
Usually it's like 10 hours. Next one is from Franny.
Hey, Franny.
I bought a keto treat that was semi-acceptable. However, I did not read the label this time. When I got home, I heard Rachel in my head saying, read the label every time. Sure enough, these had totally unacceptable ingredients.
Grr.
I felt cheated, but had done it to myself.
We've all been there.
And I've done it.
Remember those cheese crisps? That always sticks in my mind. Those things were...
We bought like 12 bags of them.
Because it was like, wow, what a steal deal.
They had changed the ingredients. We didn't know.
Yeah.
And then even recently.
We look like weirdos bringing those back to Costco.
How about even recently? Yeah, because we brought them all back.
It was like, here's a trash bag of
Even
junk.
recently, we got the chocolate mint Equip,
Yes.
right?
And we love Equip.
And if you didn't know, Equip now has 2 versions of their protein powder.
Because it's not a keto company.
Right.
It's just they have stuff
They
that would be keto friendly.
They have their original version, which, by the way, they've changed the bags.
It's not keto chow.
They've changed the bags. But now you have the version with stevia, and then some people don't like stevia, so they have a version made with coconut sugar. Well, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
But we ordered the chocolate mint. They go, oh, it's Equip. Look,
Delicious.
new flavor. And then
we're like, crap.
I didn't even know. I thought it tasted really good. And then I think it was a subscriber that mentioned, do you know there's coconut sugar in there? And I was like, no, it's Equip. So don't feel bad.
No.
We do it too.
We do it too.
Next one is from BB.
Before you move on, like, that is another reason why I don't want you to have a label on yourself. So let's say you're like, I am strict and I never do XYZ. Then something like this happens. It was not your fault. So you've had this thing where like, I've never had sugar in 172 days. And then you have something like I had where you got the diet soda and they'd switched the lines and I wound up getting a full Coke. So now what does that do to me mentally when I'm like, well, there was my perfect record. Right. And they stole my perfect record. And now, well, I might as well, since I'm already down this road, just go down through a total hole, right?
So Baby wants to know, can I use erythritol instead of allulose in the marshmallows? I get diarrhea from allulose. So I did respond to her, but I wanted to put this out here because we've gotten a lot of people asking. So in our marshmallow recipe, could you use erythritol? Yes and no. You could use it, but it is not going to be very good because erythritol recrystallizes when it cools. So first of all, you would have to use powdered erythritol, not regular granule. But what happens is you're going to heat it up to make your sugar mixture, and then when it cools, it's going to recrystallize, and it's going to be a gritty texture in the marshmallows. If you do not want to use allulose, the only other keto-friendly sweetener that you could use would be xylitol.
Oh, xylitol.
Okay? You would have to use xylitol. I have not tried it with Boca Sweet because it's just too expensive, so we've kind of walked away from it, right?
It's good, but expensive.
But xylitol will work as well. But just be aware, xylitol is deadly to dogs.
Right, so just be careful.
Xylitol is also
if you have dogs.
Not 0 on the glycemic index. I believe it is 13. So it's not bad, but it's not 0. Okay, you will get a glucose and insulin reaction, especially an insulin reaction with xylitol, whereas you will not with allulose. So it's just something to be aware of. Now, if you're going to use xylitol, drop it down from 1.5 cups to 1 cup. You cannot use stevia. You need to have a sugar-type substance. It's like using the Ninja Creamy. You have to have something that acts like a sugar. You can't make a simple syrup that's going to fluff into a marshmallow with stevia. It will not work.
When you were saying, like, it's not a percent chance, I always remember that thing, like, you know, the percentage is low that your chickens are going to eat you, but it's never 0.
Right. Next one's from Vadim.
Hi, Vadim.
Have you heard of the Orca ice cream bar? I don't know why I saw okra.
I do love okra, but
I would love to hear your opinion about it. It's a small company in New Jersey that makes keto chocolate ice cream that is made with egg white.
Huh.
I was skeptical, but surprisingly good. So it's in New Jersey. We have not tried it, but I did pull up the ingredients.
Okay.
So I wanted to look at this and with everybody here. So the ingredients on this are egg whites, whey protein powder, a blend, which is whey protein isolate, whey protein concentrate, sunflower lecithin, light cream, 55% dark chocolate shell, unsweetened chocolate, erythritol, chicory root fiber, sunflower lecithin, vanilla extract, stevia extract. That's the chocolate shell. We have organic refined coconut oil, granulated sugar, and then less than 1% of cream of tartar, and then vanilla extract, vanilla bean powder, and salt and gorgon. So I have 2 problems here. Number 1 is the granulated sugar. But then they're saying there is erythritol. But there's no erythritol in the total carbs. So if you look, the erythritol is part of the chocolate, but not as a sweetener. So these are being sweetened with actual sugar. So when you see these total carbs of 9, and then there's 2 grams of sugar, the fiber is going to be from your chocolate and your chicory root fiber. I haven't tasted them. I'm not so keen on the fact that they're using granulated sugar as the sweetener. They are not using erythritol as a sweetener. If they were, you would see erythritol labeled in the nutrition label of sugar alcohols.
Right.
You would see like carbohydrates, fiber, sugar alcohols. There are no sugar alcohols listed up there, which means that there's so little that they don't need to put it up there, because it's going to be like less than a half, and that's because it's only in the chocolate coating, which means the ice cream itself is sweetened with sugar. So I kind of am not okay with that. I will say, if you want a good store-bought keto-friendly ice cream bar, get the Keto brand. You can buy it in...
Didn't you get it at Publix?
Costco is where we... No,
the
yes,
bars.
Costco has the bars. We saw them in our local Publix. The problem with Publix is I think they're charging $8 for 4 bars, and you can get 12 bars. No, it's Sam's Club.
Okay, Sam's.
In Sam's Club, you can get 12 bars for like $11. Like, that's a big difference.
That's
$8 for 4, 12 bars for $11. Listen, I know your brother works at Publix, but... like, I think Publix is a scam other than buy one, get one free. They are the most expensive store I've ever been in.
What got you is you thought they were buy one, get one free there, I think.
No, they were in the wrong spot.
Okay.
Is why I had bought them. I'm like,
you really are going to lose that nail.
Oh, I know. It was in a spot where it was like $4, but they weren't. And then when they rang up,
Wah,
like,
wah.
yeah. But yeah, they can be expensive.
But not at Sam's.
Not at Sam's. Okay, let's get into some of these comments.
Lolo said, I wanted to be carnivore, but leaving out seasoning wasn't sustainable for me. Heavy meat keto works for me. I miss my low carb veggies also. And I think that's fair, because again, what really began for our channel was once we knew this was going to be forever. This was going to be a lifestyle. We didn't decide to do the channel until we were new. I mean, that's the sad part, is you guys didn't get to see like our health journey, except for like I have pictures, but we didn't have videos because we weren't losing it, because we didn't start the channel and then lose the weight while we were on the channel. Like, hey, I'm going to try this thing called keto and you guys see what happens, right? We waited until we knew we were keto and it was for life. When you're thinking about the prospect of this being the rest of your life, then I think it's reasonable to say, can I never want anything other than just the meat the rest of my life? Like, not even on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's reasonable to have a discussion that takes into account, well, this is the way I'm going to eat forever. What is something reasonable?
Right.
I'm not even saying like, hey, on Christmas I blow it and go full sugar, but I'm just saying like, I think it's okay to say, hey, I am going to have some locally grown fruits and vegetables in season.
Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, Lolo's like, I wanted to be carnivore, but leaving out seasoning was sustainable. And I don't think it's sustainable for most people.
No.
And I don't think it makes you not a carnivore.
No.
My point is, like, when I say, unless you're only eating meat and never putting a seasoning or a spice on there, I'm being sarcastic and nasty to the person who is making these comments about people who do it, because it's like, listen, you don't think the American Indians, like, found garlic and stuff and roots and started putting it on their food and eating it? Of course they did. I mean, and it's just like, Dr. Berry just put out a video about, like, he uses mustard.
Get out of here.
Right? I mean, and he talks about, like, what your best condiment is. He's like, listen, he showed G. Hughes sauce. It's in his house. And what did he say? If you want to cheat on carnivore with this. Don't go buy Heinz. Don't go buy a barbecue sauce. Use this.
But there's always going to be those people that's going to come after somebody. And I think about just like the thousands of people who would say, hey, Dr. Berry really was instrumental in saving my life.
Absolutely.
In changing the trajectory of my life, my spouse's life. My family is different because of watching his videos and like following his advice. And then he shows himself eating mustard, and there's somebody like, take down, you're a fake.
Well, didn't you say
phony.
he recently talked about the
was
fact
like,
that
oh my gosh,
he eats the way he eats,
Why do
where
we
it's
listen to
almost
this
all
nonsense?
meat, because he found that he was overdoing keto treats. That's
Yeah.
why he shifted that way.
Right.
But not everybody has to do that.
Well, I even think about like the poor grief that Nisha has to take on, because it's like, you know, why won't you get in line? Your husband's a carnivore. And it's like, what the heck?
Because carnivore isn't the only or best way.
It just boggles my mind that it really doesn't matter like how much he could help people, and then the first shot that somebody's like, well, I just don't like this.
So here's the thing. In our mind, if you are eating meat and then still putting spices, even condiments, but you're only eating meat and you're using spices and you're using condiments and you're drinking coffee, you're still a carnivore in our mind.
And I want you, I really do, if you're
If you want to use that word.
If you are active, you know, you go into, you know, Facebook groups, you're trying to learn stuff, like you're on videos, you're in other people's live streams, like you go to some sort of a meetup, and like, you know, if a Karen comes to you and starts challenging you either online, I want you to see Flo from Alice. Remember that? I mean, I think she recently passed away. Like Flo from Alice, that waitress, and I want you to pop your gum, look them straight in the face, and say, kiss my grits, okay? Because I don't see where, I don't know like how you ramped up today to feel like you were allowed to take a text on my life.
Right.
Like, kiss my grits. Because if they've got that much balls to like say that they need to police you, then you should have enough balls to answer them back.
Yeah. Lola said they have to remember there's different levels of the proper human diet.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And that is our point. That's been Dr. Berry's point. Everybody is on a different level. We don't even say we're keto anymore. People ask me all the time, what do you guys eat? We eat a mostly meat lifestyle with the occasional fruits and vegetables. That's what we tell people.
Because sometimes there's such a stigma, and like if you don't answer right, there's nothing there. If you do not give me the right magic word, there is nothing for me to have here to benefit from. You can't help me in any way. Like there is nothing that you have for me here, unless you have the code words.
Yeah, John said, I love garlic and mushrooms in keto chow, so I'm a ketovore even though most of my diet is meat. Lion is the only one that is just salt and meat. Actually, lion is ruminant meat.
Yeah.
So, like, technically on lion, you wouldn't even be eating poultry.
Like our
or
seafood.
pork. It would be eating ruminant meat. But again, and it's like...
This is my thought.
Eat what you want on the proper human diet. And don't yell at other people because they're not eating the way you want to eat.
Do you think sometimes it's motivated out of a jealousy that they're like, I am doing what I think is like the best top tier, but I'm like sort of jealous that other people are eating, they have a more of an expanded eating window, and so I need to correct them.
I think it's more of
What do you think?
I want to be holier than thou. I'm better than you.
I am better than no one. There's literally not one person I'm better than.
Juliana said we had dinner at Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse in Vegas for our anniversary. Every gluten-containing item was imported.
Wow, so totally different.
I was absolutely fine the next day. Granted, I did not eat the cake, but 2 times ice cream.
Yeah, and I was fine. Yeah. So, yeah, because it's like, it's just different.
Juliana also said most people don't with the sunscreen don't wait the obligatory 10 to 15 minutes before they get in the pool, so why bother?
True. Remember when, you know, your parents would say you can't go in the pool if you eat and then you have 30 minutes you have to wait?
Where did that come from?
Yeah. Donna Jo said, my IG stories are now showing my 98% meat on my plate and a fiber-loaded sweet potato and bread from Foxhill Kitchen, trying to fix something personally with my digestion and still going to be honest with what I eat. I commend you for doing that, Donna Joe. And I understand that is a brave step of vulnerability. There's a lot of people who know you, right? That are like, that would identify themselves as carnivore, and you're like, we're really good friends. And you putting that out there and saying like, hey, this is the experiment I'm wanting to do. The first step is the hardest.
Yep.
You put it out there, and I'm sure it's the same thing with people who are in a GLP-1. You're being honest, you're putting yourself out there, and you're like, are you still going to invite me to the party?
Right.
Are you still going to sit by me? You know, and I want you to know that you will always have a seat at this table.
Right.
Always. And this table is always going to be expanding. Always expanding. And I love that there is differences around the table, because I think that is more welcoming.
Trish says sometimes people transfer their own need for strict adherence to a protocol to others.
You're
yeah,
true.
I absolutely agree.
True.
Okay, we're going to get off, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to be live later on this week, probably Thursday. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell notifications so that you're notified, because, again, we're going to be in Texas. I don't know what the schedule and everything is yet. We should have good internet. I'll have both my Verizon tower as well as our Starlink. And then you're going to try to do something from the road
morning.
on Wednesday?
Yep.
Because we'll be on the road, so you'll just try
On
to
the
do it on the road.
again.
So it might be a little bit shorter. Hopefully everything goes well. But
Me and Willie Nelson.
go through on Mighty Networks. Just make sure you're watching. She'll put a post out, because if we happen to be in an area with zero cell service, it'll have to wait until we get to a place. So Rachel put up a post a little bit ahead of time that, like, okay, we're gonna try to stop it here. Maybe we'll find a Buc-ee's and I'll go in Buc-ee's and she can sit in the car and do the live stream. We've done that before.
I can honestly say I would rather hang out in the Wednesday morning meetup than go to Buc-ee's. But saying it out there, it's like, wow, that is true.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Have a